Yo, we are back hanging out in the lounge. We got Mr. Terry Foster here again. Happy belated Father's Day to you,
Thank
Mr.
you very
Foster.
much. I had a nice, peaceful Father's Day.
Yeah,
I didn't even have to cook.
nice. Now you're an empty nester, aren't you? If your kids have all,
They're
they all
gone.
left the coop.
Yeah,
They all live several.
Brandon's in Austin. Celine's in Los Angeles. So empty nester.
Yeah, father or two.
Yes,
Very cool.
that I know of. No, it's only two.
Very nice. So what'd you do yesterday? You said you just like relaxing day at home.
We had brunch first of all with the wife, and then went home and I was going to put an umbrella together. When I opened it up, two screws were missing. Somebody took two screws out of the thing. Must have been at the factory, so now I have to reorder the screws.
Ooh, that's a pain in the ass.
So then I did basically nothing.
Yeah, I mean that's fair. It's a relaxing day. I went all the way home to Jackson, where I'm from. Saw my dad. We did our laundry together, and then
It's a good Father's Day thing, laundry.
yeah, he was Mr. Mom growing up. He did a lot of like the cooking and the cleaning and stuff like that. So it's not like foreign to him. And then we went out to the airport. You ever been out to the Jackson airport, TFos?
I have not.
They have a restaurant out there. There's always been out there. It's like a bar restaurant now, and it's called The Apron. That's like the new name of it, whatever. But yeah, my dad's a regular out there. Like there was a wait, but
But they just let him through.
well, the hostess was like, I went out to go look at the planes and stuff like that because I was like, I haven't been here in so long, and so I was like, I'm gonna go pop out. They had like one like jet out there, and then a couple like small like planes that people were flying. It's pretty cool, and I'm just seeing them like taking off and not. Yeah, but the lady, she like my dad just kind of reaches in, grabs his own silverware from the bucket, and she just kind of like wink.
Well, he like owns the place.
Yeah, and I think she's got a crush on him. She's like a little bit older lady because we're sitting there. He goes to the bathroom, and she's walking by, and she kind of like looks to the lady behind the counter. She's like, "Where'd that man go?" And I like think she's talking. I'm like, "Oh, you talking about the guy who was right here?"
Mm-hmm.
She's like, "Yeah." I was like, "Oh, he just went to the
Now,
bathroom."
now, what would you do if she put the moves on him?
I'd be happy for him.
Okay.
Yeah. Not gonna step in the way. I'm not.
I want to see what kind of son you are.
Yeah, hey, I'm not gonna sweat that
Okay,
that man's
good.
swag. Good for him. I'd just politely and respectfully remove myself from the situation, Chief Boss, and I'd try to let the big dog eat. So
Good. Proud of you.
appreciate it. Yeah.
Let the man have his glory.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. Not gonna try to get in the way of between a dog and his bone. So
Guess you might get bit.
he's got a really big dog too. So like, I mean, it's kind of like we used to have big dogs growing up too. So we kind of like would know like, they don't like to play with their food.
Okay.
So
Happy for you.
yeah. I
Happy
mean,
for dad.
me too. Yeah.
He still got it.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, he's a quiet guy, but he just got a little charm to him, Yeah, then we went out and played. We shot 18 yesterday.
Yeah, I was going to ask you. You did laundry on Father's Day. Did you? You went to the airport. Did you play any golf? But just answer that question.
Disc golf. He's got a bad back. He's like I said, I told you
Oh.
too. He's 68, so
No,
he's got.
my brother-in-law is deeply into disc golf. He plays in tournaments. In fact, there is a big amateur tournament coming up at Kensington
Oh, okay, yeah.
this summer, and then they have a professional tournament in like the next 2-3 years.
That'd be pretty cool. We went up to this place in Mason, Lansing. I think it was like Delhi Charter. We were just south of Kalamazoo Street, not too far, off of like Jolly and Dunkel, and we played this course. Ended up this guy joined us. He had like a cart, like a pull cart, like you'd see for golf,
Yes.
but like he had his disc golf bag. It was pretty sick, and we were like, hey, if you're just wanting, you can play through. And he's like, you mind if I join? And we didn't care. So he played with us. This guy was really good. He shot 11 under on his first 18. And he's just going to walk back through and play another. He shot 6 under with us. So we hurt his game a little bit.
I can say maybe he's intimidated by you guys.
Yeah. But, yeah, I mean, I shot 20 over. But
Oh.
20 over is a 77 on 18. So I'm just going to tell people I shot 77 on 18. And if they ask questions, I'll answer.
That's disc golf. Hey.
Yeah. I'm just gonna say, I played 18 with my dad. I shot a 77.
Okay. Yeah, it's that is really getting big, and you see people with carts, and you got different discs for distance and for putting and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, you ever played?
I have not. I've just thrown the disc,
Yeah.
but I haven't officially played around.
They up at CMU, they have like just south of the campus near the football stadium, they have a course right there by like the hotels.
Seen that?
But then also too, if you're heading, kind of like you're heading out towards Freddy's and towards the Summit, the Summit Pig or something. I don't. I might be saying it wrong.
Heading west.
Yeah, heading west either way, towards Big Rapids. There's Deerfield Park, and they have two really nice disc golf courses out there. They're like two of the top 10 rated courses in Michigan.
All right.
So like, you know, for all our friends up in Mount Pleasant or that area, it's really nice options up
Now,
there.
my experience with disc golf is sometimes if my brother-in-law is going to play in a tournament, I will caddy for him.
Okay.
And then look for the golf, because sometimes, you know, you have those holes where it bends around. And,
Yeah.
you know, maybe the disc is in the trees. Maybe it's in the rough or something. So I find it for him.
Nice.
I'm
Yeah.
a spotter.
That's nice. That's important sometimes, especially like say, you know, you get around those like bends and stuff like that where you got a blind spot to yourself. You get somebody to help keep you an eye on it, but it's pretty fun. We almost went fishing. He went out Saturday. I think he said for like the whole day. He went to like 3 different lakes with his buddy. His buddy TFos. He sounds like a really interesting man. I can't wait to meet him. He's 69 years old or he's 68 years old, but he's got an 81-year-old girlfriend. And my dad said that when they went out fishing, he kept hollering at his old lady like, "Hey, you know, I got a pile of wood that needs split. You know, I'm expecting it to
The
be."
81-year-old is splitting wood.
Yeah, and I guess like they came back from fishing all day. They were gone for like 10, 12 hours, and she got all the pile done. She was too tired to like come outside and say goodbye. She was just like zonked out in the chair.
I'd
She's
be
80.
too tired too.
Yeah, but I thought it was hilarious that this 81-year-old woman is out there splitting logs, and like
I found it hilarious that he told her to do it and she agreed.
I thought this man might be my hero. Like,
Or the 81-year-old is so happy to have a spring chicken who's 68 that she'll do anything.
I mean, hey, that's fair. Maybe that's the lesson for a young man like myself, to just like always shoot up, make them feel grateful to have you.
Well, I mean, you know, I don't want to give you any dating tips, but that's where chubby women come in.
Oh,
Chubby
yeah,
women, nice, you know, not the cream of the crop, but they'll do anything for you.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
And they cook, they'll sing for you, they do all kinds of stuff.
Yeah. They tend to have quite nice personalities. Like, you know, they, not to say it's with all people, but big and jolly tend to go together. So, yeah, you know, which
Yeah, but you can get some mean ones though.
oh,
So be careful.
Absolutely.
And the mean ones, they'll fight you too.
Oh yeah. There's no. Well, I mean, that's because they're like aware of their presence, and they're like, I'm gonna, you know, it's like, you know, they're like, I'm gonna use my size to my advantage. Like it's like an intimidation tactic. At some point.
They'll take care of you. So look, this little skinny guy. I'm
Yeah.
gonna teach him a lesson.
Exactly. Yeah. So I haven't been around the block a whole lot, TFos, but I keep my ear to the ground. The one pass I've made it so
Okay.
far. So, but I love the lessons. I definitely love.
Right.
You
You know, you can go for the pretty girls, and the pretty girls are great. But you know, sometimes they're like too high maintenance, and then they love themselves, and they know they can get anybody they want, so they're not really nice sometimes.
Yeah, I've always been big on personality, TFos. Like, it's like, you know, I have paintings on my wall and pictures and stuff that I think are pretty that I can just stare at and look at. That you know,
Of women?
no, just like
Just paintings.
yeah,
okay.
just like I like a lot of like the nature like landscape portraits and stuff like that. I think they're really like just peaceful and like near the water and stuff like that. So I mean, that's, you know, if I want to stare at something pretty and not have, you know, that I'm not going to get to have a conversation with, I'll just stare at a painting or something like that. But I mean, I like, you know, I want to feel like I can talk to somebody.
Okay, yeah, that's always good. Conversation is a great thing.
Yeah, you know, I've said it before on it's one of the shows. I was like, you know, like I'll let it slide in the looks department a little bit if you can make me laugh. If you make me laugh, like I got my eyes closed half the time because I'm laughing, you know. So I'm not even thinking
Laughing
about
is cool. Make me laugh and feed me, and then we're good.
Yeah, see, I'm really picky with my food. I
Oh yeah,
don't,
that's right.
so
You're a
like,
little weirdo there.
yeah, so yes, i- if they do feed me, that's great. But I more or less want like someone who like a fullback who is like gonna protect my preferences. Like if anyone tries to um like critique me or criticize me, they're gonna step up and be like, hey, like leave them
And are
alone.
you willing to do the same?
Absolutely, yeah. I mean,
Okay.
I don't really care like
Not a one-way street.
yeah. I mean, I don't like if I don't like see like somebody said one time like what you eat doesn't make me shit, and they're talking about like like well, what you think. Like I'm not gonna care about what you think, and like that affect my opinion.
Right.
But I was just like, oh wow, that was so profound, and you can apply that to so many different things. Um, that like I was like, yeah, why do people care? Like especially like when I talk about like my food preferences, and I'm like, yeah, I don't like cheese. People get all offended, and then like it's like I don't.
Yeah, that's true. I'm not hurting you,
Yeah.
but it's like you don't like cheese.
Yeah, it's like I slapped him in the face, and it's like you realize like if there was like a big block of cheese, and they were like, all right, ration it up between the two of you, I would willingly just say take it all, like you can have mine, like I'm almost like the best person to have in that situation.
See, I would too. I'm not. I don't hate cheese, but cheese is not my thing.
Yeah,
Especially, I tell you, with cheese, I couldn't. I go to the Eastern Market and they have this old world fancy cheese. Can't stand it. It's just
does it stink?
it does stink.
Yeah,
It's full of flavor, but it's flavor I don't like. But it's and they give you little samples, and you buy it, and it's in big blocks, and it's
yeah. See,
imported from Switzerland and France, and
the thing with like if you take milk and you just like let it curdle, it'll eventually become close to yogurt. And then if you take yogurt and you let that curdle and spoil, it'll eventually become close to cheese. Not exactly, but like more or less that's like the base level of like how you make one product and then the other from the dairy. And to me, the idea that this product has like knowingly like this product has like more or less spoiled not once, but then again twice. I don't like know how I could ever
so
get
you
over
don't
that
like
mental
cheese not
hurdle.
because of the taste. You know the genetic
Well,
makeup.
I've had the flavor of it before. Like one time we went to White Castle and they got cheeseburger sliders, and I didn't realize there was cheese on them. I started eating it, and I did not like the taste of it. And I looked down and I saw the cheese on the burger, and then my cousin just took the cheese and like scraped it off, and then like put the bone and the patty back together, and was like, yeah, it's good now. And I was like, no, it's like that's not how it works. And I was forced to sit at the table until I finished the sliders. I couldn't get up. We were at my grandmother's house.
Oh yeah, grandma's. Thing about grandma, you got to finish your food. I don't care what they put on there.
So
My grandmother used to feed me liver on Sundays. Couldn't stand it. But I was not allowed from that table until
Yeah.
the liver was all eaten.
that was the only time I've ever had White Castle. Never had it again.
You know you can do White Castles without cheese.
I've heard that, TFos, and I've actually been in the line of White Castle before with other people in the car, but I've just said I'm okay. I will not order, and I just decline. I don't. It's not like a personal affront. I don't know why. Sometimes it's like, like I'm not really trying to eat that unhealthily. Like I might be taking a little bit more care of my body at times, and it's like I don't wanna.
Well, let me give you another little lesson in life. You don't have to explain yourself. You don't have to apologize for what you like and don't like. Don't offend me. So you do you, boo boo. That's a lesson in life.
That's a good one too. That's something that like I feel like a lot of people forget sometimes. So
Yeah, I mean, we live in this world like if you don't think like me, if you don't like me, if you don't feel like me, then there's something wrong with you. Not only is there something wrong with you, but I got to tell you
yeah.
that that's not right.
Well, if everybody thinks like you, and like everybody, that's just called fascism. That's not a very fun world to live in.
Correct.
Go ask, Italy and Germany.
I just think how boring the world would be if everyone was going around saying, me too, me too.
Yeah.
Yes, I agree.
I would, yeah, honestly, like as much as like I think like people say like they love themselves, like I would hate being stuck in a room with like just even another me for 10 hours. I think I'd just annoy the shit out of myself.
That's possible.
Yeah. So, you know, like I mean, I annoy myself just when I'm sitting there by myself. I imagine if I had another me to like that I have to like talk to or more or less listen to.
Yeah, you have to talk to another guy that doesn't like cheese.
Yeah.
That's no fun.
Well, I'd have to listen to another guy too, and I
Right.
imagine listening to myself isn't that fun. So
Well, no, you know, you're all right.
I appreciate it.
Sure.
There's times, you know, give or take, but you know,
You're good.
appreciate it, TFos. Yeah,
No problem.
yeah. I'm hoping, you know, one day maybe I'll figure out how to string enough words together to form a sentence that makes people laugh on stage doing some comedy or something like that.
I do that. Well, I had a couple of friends who did that. Have your material memorized, because they would go up on stage reading the book.
Yeah, yeah. I've been to like open mics and stuff like that before, and I've seen people do that. I've actually been to comedy shows where the comedian brings a notebook up there.
Right.
They don't necessarily like read off it. I'm assuming they have just like little like bullet points that they're like, you know, referencing or something like
Now,
that.
I know your stuff.
But it's tough. I remember the first time I ever tried it out, and I had like a little notebook with some stuff written down, and I had it in my pocket, and I get up there, and I felt like that's like the movie 8 Mile, when I just like froze, and I was just like, there's nobody in the room either. It was just like my friend and like one other person who stayed for the end of the night, and they were like, all right, we're done, but they just saw there was 2 of us sitting in there, and they're like, okay.
If you're nervous with no one there, then I don't think you should do comedy.
Yeah, well, this is about 2 years ago, so
Okay.
I did try it a few more times.
So now you're Richard Pryor.
No, not at all.
Eddie Murphy?
Not at all. Neither.
Okay.
No, I haven't done it. I haven't tried it again in probably about a year, but I did get back on the bike after the first time, and I was able to ride a little bit before it fell over. So
What's your best joke?
I don't know. Every time I like think of one, I end up like really hating it. So
Okay.
I think this one thing I really wanted to make funny was the fact that Pablo Escobar had his own private zoo down in Colombia, and he imported hippos from Africa. And when he got arrested and subsequently killed, there was no one to take care of the animals. They ended up getting free, and there was this large lake in Colombia near the zoo, like where the hippos like escaped to. And then because of like the weather conditions in Colombia, it's like the perfect season all the time. The dry season in Africa prevents like the breeding of hippos, so there's this like really big hippo problem in Colombia. It's the largest like concentrated
Because of one dude.
yeah, it'd be like his 3 hippos got out, like 1 boy and 2 girls, and they're just able to constantly reproduce, and they have offspring, and if there's male and female, they continually like just there's over like 1,000 or like 1,400 like wild hippos, and they have no natural predator. So there's like even in like Africa, there's no natural predator. So I just like think it's really funny, and I don't know how to make it funny. I would just like imagine like you hear stories about like drug trafficking where people like poop a balloon or like swallow like balloons of drugs, and it's just like imagine the balloon you could fit inside of a hippopotamus.
Oh yeah, you can put all kinds of. Well, you know what?
Right.
If you want to, knock down the drug problem, have the hippos go out there and have them storm the drug dealers and the dens and stuff like that. Hippos will take care of it.
Yeah.
Because you know what? I don't know what I was thinking, but I thought hippos were friendly.
No, not at all.
I know, but you see the little hippo and he's got the big smile and he looks like he wants to be your buddy. But then in real life, those things, they're probably the meanest animal on earth.
They are
Almost meaner than sharks.
Yeah. No, they're one of the deadliest animals in Africa for sure. They're crazy.
Right.
But yeah, I wouldn't say that was my best joke. That was one that I always tried to like fit in somehow, some way, because I think it's funny. Like I don't know how to make it funny, but I just think that whole story is funny. I feel like I don't know my style of comedy quite yet. Like, I'm still trying to figure that out more or less. Like, I sometimes like feel like I want to say something like edgy, but then I get a little too like intimidated.
Right.
Or like, and then I like get a little too worried about like what other people are gonna think instead of like just like going for it. Which I just feel like I need to like get over that fear.
Yeah, you got to give over that fear because
Yeah.
comedians, by nature, you insult people.
Yeah.
You make fun of somebody in the audience. You make fun of an ethnic group. You make fun of society. So that's what you do.
So like that's something that like that's like a little like the one like hurdle or barrier that I've been like struggling with the most. There's times where I'm like recording something on here and I'll like try to like shoehorn in something, but then I'm like, ooh, I don't know about that, so I'll let them just kind of like.
See, maybe you shouldn't be a comedian. Maybe you should be one of those dudes that recites poetry at the coffee house.
No, I don't want to do that. I think that's pretty.
Well, you don't want to insult anybody, so you can't do comedy.
Well, it's not that I necessarily like don't want to insult people. It's just like
you get scared.
I do get scared. I do get a little intimidated. Yeah.
Coffee house.
So, nah.
You should go to the coffee house. Right. And you even look like a dude that would recite. You know, it doesn't have to be a poem, but like a story, a heavy story that makes society better, makes my life better, makes everybody else's life better. So maybe that's what you should do.
I don't like that though. I like to like
But you don't like comedy?
No, I love comedy. I listen to comedy all the time. I like to make fun of stuff. I just feel like more or less like I like sometimes like I feel like the jokes I make in private I get a little nervous to say in public. But I need to like just get over the fact that like it's an environment that is based on like non-seriousness and comedy where I don't know. So,
well, I still think you should do the coffee house, but throw in a couple jokes here and there.
Maybe
non-intimidating jokes.
So maybe I don't know. A lot of like what I like to poke fun at like realistic or like real things.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't know. Like for example, I used to just kind of made the quick joke with my buddy one time. I was just like with the whole like Israel-Palestine issue. I don't understand why it's like such an ongoing issue. Didn't we solve this already? Don't you have to just give them a couple casinos and some land the size of Oklahoma and call it good?
Yeah, see, that works. Bam.
Yeah, like we've seen this playbook.
Mm-hmm.
Like just go Red Bow you, Bobby Boucher from The Water Boy.
Or if you don't want to insult him, why don't you just do a comedy skit and make fun of CMU? Nobody's gonna be offended.
Yeah, I mean that's fair. So, but
there's issues up there. I mean the greeting at CMU, how you doing today? Fair to Midland. Now that's a joke right there. Who the hell says that? You can make fun of CMU.
Yeah, that's very. I mean, I think like you're saying too. Like at the end of the day, like I am just a little like just afraid, and I just need to like get over that fear. I've been talked about it like with some of the guys in the back. Like this is something like where like I feel like I'm starting to like circle the drain of getting not say like getting over the fear, but like getting that willingness to like kind of hop back on the bike and like give it another go. But I don't know. It is still like nonetheless just like intimidating. But it's like I don't know. Like it's a fun kind of like fear and anxiety. It's like it's something that like it's like oh I know I really want to try this and do this. At least like see if I can do it. Like I don't know. Like
now there's some scrub comedy clubs around here.
Yeah, that's another thing too. They're all like kind of like it's like you go to the same club. Like I would go to like the same place, and there's a lot of like the same people, and they're just doing the same joke like week after week after week. And I would kind of get like for me, like I get you're trying to work on like a craft and stuff like that, but it's like if you just keep doing the same thing over and over, and you're really not changing anything like that, it's like you're just kind of expecting like everyone to like somehow get the joke more and more every week, and
it's not gonna happen. And then you bore yourself.
Yeah, so like I would always like I don't know, like I just didn't like doing that, so I would always try to try to have something different. It's hard to write, and then also like I always felt like at least for the place I was going, everybody seemed to like kind of like know each other and kind of like have this like kind of like this like social like group and stuff.
It seems like you need to network. But
yeah,
I bet you what happens is comedians, they exchange jokes with each other. So you should probably do the same thing.
Well, I think like they were like kind of talking about like when their sets, they're like talking about like this or that and stuff like that. Just like
then they'll point at you and say, "That's the guy Chase. He's afraid to offend anybody."
Yeah.
Good luck.
Yeah, they'll all just
they say that guy over there, he should be in the coffee house telling stories.
They'll all be kind of in their little huddle. They'll all turn, point at him, and then just kind of go back to the little whispers. So, yeah. But
You know they talking about you too.
oh, 100%, yeah, yeah. So no, that's just something like like you got to get over it in your own head. I like understand it, and but it's like I still like can't take that step.
You know what you should do? Now you're on the little morning show here in Woodward Sports.
That's what this is like. Yeah.
You should tell some jokes now and then.
Oh, I do. I fit them in, TFos. I definitely think
Okay.
I think I'm the funniest guy at the network.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then let's see it. Make fun of Kool-Aid.
Oh well, like
Make fun of him.
how?
It's easy.
Like
I can make fun of him.
I don't like to like make fun of people unless they like act like they deserve it.
Then
like,
you don't want to be a comedian.
like I don't.
I like this guy here. You know who he is?
Ryan?
Ryan.
Yeah.
Ryan looks like the dude that would be fighting or boxing in the Joe Louis era, and he would be fighting the Great White Hope. He got them little thick legs right there. He's got that little hair they used to wear back in the day. He should have been born in the 1920s, fighting the Great White Hope.
I don't know who the Great White Hope is.
The Great White Hope is a white guy that back in the day, white people could not beat the heavyweight boxing champion of the world. So every time one came up to fight a brother, he was the Great White Hope because
Okay.
they were hoping to get it back where it belongs with white people. So he looks like he'd be the dude that fights the Great White Hope.
Oh, as like the
Mhm.
puffer fight to like make or like the fluffer fight to make him look tough and big.
No, he'd be kicking the dude's ass.
Oh, really? I think like you're talking about how like his legs and stuff like that. I think like his lower half of his body has like the proportions of a little person, but on like the size like of like you know what an average person's body would be.
Well, I'm gonna disagree. You know, maybe lengthwise, but he's got Barry Sanders' thighs.
But
Look
no,
at
that's
the
what I
thick.
mean. If you look at like if you look at like a little person, they
Is
have
Barry Sanders a little person?
no, but I'm just saying like they have really like thick legs, like they're very.
Oh yeah, but they're all bow-legged and.
Yeah, but I'm saying like he doesn't have the bowed leg, but he has like the proportionate leg size, like the thigh size. Like he's got a lot of mass. In
Hey,
his lower
White
half.
Hope, let's see your legs here. See, I disagree. He's got Barry Sanders legs.
Legs?
Yeah. Those are not little people legs.
I
Look,
think they got-
yeah. If they were, he'd be bow-legged.
No, I'm saying like the way that they're thick, TFos. He's got like the thick mass of a little person.
I get the thick part.
I mean, I can squat 225. So there's that.
That's the bench press weight for the NFL Combine.
Is it? Oh yeah, it is right. Yeah, I can't bench it, but
No,
I can squat it.
have you ever benched 225?
No most I've ever gotten is 155, which I'm at right now.
Oh yeah.
I benched 225 once. 50, 100, 150, 200, 225.
Believe it or not,
Not at once.
when I was about 19, I did get about 2 reps at 225.
All right. I can believe it.
Not a full set, but a couple reps.
Couple reps is all that matters.
Couple
You
reps.
just gotta get it up one time.
Yeah. So I had a cousin of mine who's like 2 years older than me. He's like really heavy in the gym. Started like going with him every day, and yeah, I was able to like get up there a couple times, but he was throwing the bar.
By the way, I just told a joke without insulting anybody, so you should take notes.
I should, yeah.
I can bench 225, 50, 100, 150, 200, 225. I didn't insult anybody.
You're right. Yeah, absolutely. There's many different forms of comedy for sure. That's what I was talking about too. Like trying to like find your form of comedy. Like there's a really funny comedian I really like. TFos' name's Nate Bargatze. If you've ever heard of him,
I have not.
He's like all clean comedy. Like he doesn't swear, he doesn't use profanity, he doesn't like have like dirty jokes or anything like that. But he's one of the funniest comedians out there. And I mean like, but there's also like other guys who I really like who are, you know, like really dirty, profane, crass, this and that. I just feel like I think like what you were saying too. You said I look like more or less like I belong in the coffee shop, and I feel like that like I have to like kind of take in that perception a little bit. Cause I guess like Adam Sandler, he used to try to like do a lot of like dirty jokes and stuff like that, and somebody was like you need to go up there with like a guitar and like do like some like sing-songy like la-di-da type
Do
shit.
you play the guitar?
No.
Do you sing?
No. Maybe I think what I need to do is completely alter my appearance. Like
Can you do impersonations?
not well. I've never really tried. Like
I thought,
so.
Well,
I,
not well is no.
I think that's like a cheap form of comedy.
and
I love it.
he crashed safely.
Yeah.
yesterday.
I don't know. I find it
when
like
he crashed safely.
like it's like it
I was like,
fades
you know what?
quickly. It gets very boring
Oh, yeah.
fast.
He's out of
Like it's
the
funny at first. Like I'm not a fan of
I
Kevin
didn't
Hart's
see him
comedy
on
style.
Battle War. He got a second, so I was
Like I don't really find Kevin
Does
Hart.
he do impersonations?
No, but I think he does like voices and characters like in his sets, or like or
He
like
just screams, doesn't he?
yeah, and that's like yeah, and I just like, and I feel like that's
Paulo dropped to
doing something like that isn't so far off from like what impersonations are. Like I like storytelling and like the like original craft and like thought like more or less than anything else.
So Kevin Hart's trying to sell you on a credit card. You're not buying.
No. I don't. I've never really been like a huge fan of anything Kevin Hart outside of the movie The Upside with Bryan Cranston, which is a remake of a French film of a true story, about a quadriplegic
Justin.
and his personal care provider or whatever.
So you're not into Bamanji or Bamunji or whatever the
No, I haven't even seen the original one with
him
Robin
Rock?
Williams.
No,
No, they remade it.
Didn't they have some
Yeah, with like
jungle thing?
yeah, Jumanji with The Rock and Kevin Hart. Yeah, I haven't seen the new one, but they have that's a remake of like the old one. I haven't seen that one either.
Now,
Yeah,
do
we
you
picked
like
some,
comedy
some terrible
movies?
racers to-
Yeah, I
to
think the
commit
other
to.
guys has some of the best writing in any comedy movie ever.
Did you like Elf? I loved Elf.
Yeah, I think it's funny. Yeah, I think it's fine. But yeah, I like I said, we could talk about comedy a whole lot. I spent a lot of time like talking about like comedy on here. Like Nathan Fielder is one of my favorite comedians. He's got a show, Nathan For You, that was on Comedy Central, and then he just finished up season 2 of his show called The Rehearsal on HBO Max. So he's hilarious. So I could spend like hours talking about that guy. But everyone's starting to file in TFos. I have no clue what time
All
it is
right.
right now. So we'll
Means it
call
must be time.
quits. Yeah, it's 7:50. So we'll wrap it up there
All
and
right.
call it good. Happy Father's Day to everybody out there, to all you daddies, and we'll see you alligators later.
See you.
Get him off the phone.